Yeah, I'm in my PJs and I'm freshly from the shower, but you can just deal with it. Yay! Alright, this is wing clipping. I'm going to talk really loud just in case the parakeets, not parrots, parakeets are too loud, which they're quiet right this second. First off, the benefits to wing clipping is they're not going to get sat on the couch. They can fly away. They can fly away from dogs, small children, oops, you walked too close, don't want to get trampled on, any number of things. Bad news is they can fly out the door, fly out the window, get into things they're not supposed to be in, any number of things really. To start, you're going to want to get a dishcloth, not a regular old rinky-dink wash rag, but a dishcloth large enough that you're going to be able to drape it over and wrap it around a little bit. You want to use the same rag each time for wing clipping or nail clipping because you don't want the bird to be afraid of every cloth they come in contact with. With Jack here, I can get ready for work and be changing my clothes and he does not even care. He will go through my sleeves and out my neck, collar, or vice versa, and he has no problems with it whatsoever. However, when my red plaid rag comes out, he is not a happy camper, which over time they learn to just get over it. You're also going to want to get a rag that is noticeable to them as well. You know, plaid, ugly floral prints, anything but stripes, you know, plain stripes or solid color. Another thing, before you start clipping them, you want to make sure you have treats ready and available, whether it be sunflower seeds, yogurt covered fruit, fresh vegetables, whatever they go gaga over. Jack hates all kinds of treats and vegetables and fruits whatsoever, but he's a crackhead for sunflower seeds. So I pick about 6 of them out of his food mix, which I know a lot of people say you should feed him pellets, but he would rather starve, literally, and they're expensive anyway. Usually a partner is really helpful for this kind of thing, especially if you have no idea what you're doing or you have a really bad biter. But what you're going to do is you're going to hold the bird, which usually a good hand grab is the best plan of action there, and you're going to drape the rag over their backside, grab them with it on them, flip them over like this, and wrap it around again, but you want to focus on getting it over the head, at least, in some capacity, and over the feet if you're clipping wings. You are going to want to be able to... Can I touch your wing, please? You're going to be want to be able to extend their wing without them biting you all to hell. That is what the rag is for, is to keep you from being bitten while you're holding them still. They don't want their wings pulled out uncontrollably. They don't want their toenails being clipped against their will. Jack still bites me, and I've had him for a year, but it's getting better. This is where the partner comes in. They can either be the one holding the bird and keeping them steady, or the one holding onto the wing or the foot and also clipping them. When you're clipping wings, you don't want to cut off all of the feathers on the wings because then they're going to drop like rocks, and in my experience that busts wings, feet, feathers, they get hurt pretty bad, or they bounce off the floor and make a funny noise, and it just makes you feel horrible. I have had PetSmart do very, very bad jobs of clipping them, and so finally I just looked at videos to learn myself. I would show you those videos, but I'm making this for a friend in particular because she wanted to know how I did it, not some woman who honestly kind of talked weird, but you know, I'm picky like that. What you're going to want to do when you start clipping is only clip the first 3 or 4 or so on both sides to keep it even, and then give them a few treats, release them out of the rag entirely, give them a few treats, and then see if they'll fly, and then you can see how far they can fly at that point. You want them to be able to get a little height and glide a little bit, but again, don't want them dropping like a rock. If they're still able to fly way too high and they can reach ceiling fans or whatever you're worried about them getting to, then clip 1 or 2 more feathers depending on how much more they can fly until they're at a level that you feel acceptable on, but make sure it's even on both sides. Another thing is I know a lot of people do bird shows and want to clip their bird's wings but want to make sure they still look pretty and have this pretty rainbow thing going on, and they will clip the back feathers but keep the front ones forward. Don't do that, because if they try to fly anyway, too much weight is on the tips of their wings and it's very painful and can cause plenty of problems from what I've heard. Some people say clipping your bird's wings helps you train them easier, but honestly, all of my parakeets I've had clipped when I first got them, and not a single one of them, except for the first one I ever got, will let me touch them. They all panic. So that's all just a bunch of nonsense to me. But, you know, conures are different than parakeets, and I got him clipped, and as you can see, he is one tame little booger who is very confused because we are in a new apartment and he has a camera pointed at him, so he's not being his snuggly self. But that is how I teach about wing clipping. I hope you enjoyed it, Chelsea.